Normally on Thursdays I would post a process video, but this Thursday I got the opportunity to take a job, and this is where I worked. Hi, I'm Christine, the artist behind Darlyssa Designs, and I'm happy you're here. Welcome. Friday morning I wanted to get back on track and get my Thursday video out, but I needed to get my machine running to print these quote tags for my painted tree booth. And I had these stacks of 5x7s from the latest masterboards. And I have my March ATCs that I need to do. I started these shells from my booth, and I need to get the gold leaf around the edge. I've started them, the adhesive is on there, and this morning it's Saturday, and that's one of the first things I'm going to do. I had these bottles that came from Costco with kombucha in them, and you'll see in a minute what I did with those. But I'm having a great time putting the napkin designs on pretty much everything. I have the shells, and then I thought, I really hate to throw away bottles. I'm always collecting bottles. I use them to store my rice in. I use them to make soap dispenser bottles, but I have a lot, and I thought, well, it would be really cool if I do a plaster of Paris coating on them and then apply the napkins to match some of the shells. So that's what I worked on yesterday, all the time trying to figure out what can I do for my process video. I have a list of things that I want to do, but with all these other projects out everywhere all over my art room, it's hard to think of starting something new. So this morning I decided, let me just do an update video and show you some of the things I've been working on. So these bottles, let me rewind. I had a jug that I got from a local grocery store with some apple juice in it, and I really love it with a little handle, but I didn't know what to do with it, and I wanted to practice painting bottles. This was years ago, and I mixed a little plaster of Paris in it, and it's held up really well. The thing has been moved around all over my house, banged, dropped, knocked, and that plaster of Paris did not chip. It takes a lot of layers, but I've kept these bottles going for a few days, just adding new layers. And then I love this design with the coral, and of course it's blue, so I had to use them. And I also have some of the shells with the napkin applique, so I thought it would be cool to have a matching bottle. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I thought maybe just make a little flower holder. I could put the lid on there and put a hole in it so you could put a single flower. Or I can try and find the soap dispenser pump, but I'll have to find one that fits this bottle, and I'm not sure if that's going to be an easy thing to find. So we'll see what I end up doing with these, but it is really cool that they match. And I have a lot of these napkins. I got a whole pack of them at Home Goods. So you'll see a lot of this pattern. I wish I had bought a few more because I love this pattern. Did I mention that I love this pattern? I'm obsessed. So the plan for this is to apply the napkin, which I did yesterday. And here's a tip. Glue, pull it apart. I love it. Gotta love a good tip. Back to the process. So my plan was to apply the napkin, which I did, and I went around the edge with some more plaster of Paris to cover up the little specks of coral from outside the design that I don't want. And today I'm going to go back in with a matte gel to seal the napkin, and then I'll do one more coat of plaster of Paris to cover up the little specks of blue that I didn't get off in the first place, and also to make the napkin feel kind of embedded in the coating of plaster of Paris. I don't know how else to explain it, but I will show you this process on another video. I'll start with a different design and do a video from start to finish. But you see here, I just wet my brush, went around the edge that I want to cut out, and then applied it to the bottle. More on that process to come. Another project on the list of things that I need to do is a journal page. So I wanted to move on to another page, but this has been sitting out drying for a couple of days and I need to wax it. So when I turn the page to work on my March journal prompt, it won't stick together. A subscriber suggested that I use powder, or maybe it was cornstarch, I don't remember, but I will try that and let you know what I think in another video. And then I decided to check out the clay that I'm trying to, what's the word, reconstitute. It was a little bit dried out and I just started checking on it to see if it's going to be able to be saved, and then one thing led to another and I ended up making some air dry clay beads. I don't know if it's going to dry properly, we'll see, but I just didn't want to put it back in the bag and I didn't want to throw it in the garbage, so it happens. Sidetracks. Maybe this will become a project I show you, but it was fun to get my hands all messy and dirty. And then I realized I needed to get back to the tasks at hand. And on to the March journal prompt. So this is a page in my book that I started a long time ago, and I was just playing around with some Zentangle, and I've improved since then. And I hate seeing this page every time I open my book. And this book I'm trying to finish because it's almost done and I want to do my first flip through. So I'm sticking with this book lately, and I decided that this was the page to go this week. So this week, I usually do at least a couple of journal pages a month. So this will be my green theme journal page. And I added a little bit of green on top of this blue, and I wanted to leave a little bit of blue, and I don't mind some of the marks from the Zentangle showing through. And I really had no idea, I still don't really know how I'm going to finish this page off, but I had a lot of green deli paper from Monday's masterboard still sitting on my counter, so I thought, okay, let's use it all up. Since the theme is green for March, I just started gluing all those pieces onto the page, and that's where I left it. So we'll see what happens today with this green themed journal prompt page with my tons of little pieces of green deli paper from my print pulls. But there's a sneak peek, and of course I'll show you the final result when I finish it and decide what to do with it. Hopefully it'll turn out cool. And then I went back to the bottle where the paper has dried now, and so you can see what I was talking about before. There's little specks of blue around the edge of the design, so I'm just going in with a little of that white paint and plaster of Paris and covering that up. And I'll have to do that a couple of times, but like I said, today I'm going to cover the whole thing with matte gel medium just to kind of blend it all together, and then I'll do one more coat of plaster of Paris. So that's what I decided to do. Yesterday, I just wandered around aimlessly looking for projects that I needed to work on and finish and move out of the way. So I guess I'm going to leave it at that for my Thursday, now late video. But I wanted to come by and make sure everyone knows that I do plan to be very serious about this channel and be consistent, but things happen, and instead of beating myself up about it, I just decided to come by and say hi, and this is what I'm working on, and I will definitely be back on Masterboard Monday. And I have kind of a really cool idea to kind of experiment with on Monday, so be sure to like and subscribe and come back for that. In the meantime, I'm going to head back into my art room and finish up some of these projects. And today I'm also going to work on my website. I think it's just about ready for me to start listing things for sale. And I have a couple of exciting surprises in the works that I'll hopefully be able to share with you soon. So thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting. Sorry I missed that Thursday video, but I've got lots of fun things coming up. Thanks for watching.